Well, hello, everyone. We are on Network Like a Woman live stream number 119. And today we're talking about the power of your inner gaze. Now, what in the world does that have to do with a little miniature planter? The value and power of your inner gaze. Well, I'm going to be starting an experiment. And the green part here is where I'm going to put the label on December 1st. I have three inner planters. I have 3 planters right here. Thank you, Heather, for this lovely table, for bringing it to the village to make things a little bit more organized here. And one is going to say love. The next one is going to say, well, this one will have a heart on it. This one will have either a slash or a 0 on it, or maybe I'll put nothing. And then the third one will have an X on it. And so this one represents, when you're with a friend who just wants you to be who you are and you feel safe in their presence, that is, that feels like secure attachment. It feels like love. It feels like caring. Sometimes you're with someone and you can tell that even if something's really important to you, they're kind of indifferent. Whether it's that you have like a piece of joy that you want to share, or if you're frightened by something and they give you kind of like the blank stare. I get that sometimes from people, when even friends, sometimes when I'm experiencing an extreme emotion, they'll actually go flatline on me if they have not experienced it for themselves, or if they're afraid of that feeling inside of themselves. And then the third one is like just the third planter is about like just feeling anger or hatred. I want you to think about the inner gaze that you give to yourself on a regular basis. That kind of self-reflection requires a bit of self-honesty. And I believe that the more we can give ourselves a gaze that says, "You're welcome here, and I love you, and I believe in you, and I appreciate you," that goes beyond words. A person doesn't need to say that to you for you to feel that from them. And words are good, but you don't even need to say that to yourself in order to feel that from yourself. Louise Hay, who's one of the people who's really popularized personal development on the level of mind-body healing, she talks about, using kind words with yourself and the importance of never, ever, ever, ever criticizing yourself. And that sounds so extreme. But think about your joy and think about what it takes in our culture today to be committed to your own joy. It almost requires you being a bit different than the rest of the grain. It requires willingness to be present with yourself. It requires willingness to, at times, if you've been somebody who still has trauma that affects you, to work through that, and that requires homework. And so when we give ourselves a kind inner gaze, and when we find other people who do the same for us, that becomes a place where we can grow and we can thrive. And I wanted to give myself a physical example of what this would look like if I did this to some seeds. And so inside of here are a couple of corn seeds in each one. So on December 1st, we're going to see what happens to the corn seeds in each one of these planters as you can join me in this. I'll say we, as we send the first one love, as we send the second one indifference, and as we send the third set of corn seeds, anger and or hatred. So the point is to be able to see the effects on the outside so that we can transfer that knowledge and information to the effects that that our thoughts have toward our own being on the inside. So thank you for being here with me. This is Network Like a Woman. This is what it means to experience relatedness without agenda. It says, Heidi said, I don't think I could send hatred. I struggle with that every time I think it, every time I say it. When I shared this experiment idea with my auntie, she said, I don't even want to have anything to do with it, and I don't even want to know about it. I don't want you to tell me about it. She was so upset. But I want you to think about how quickly and easily our society delivers up hatred, we do it to ourselves, toward how we feel about our bodies or our smarts or our beauty. I hear all the time. I hear people shaming themselves all the time, and that's hatred. That's a form of hatred. And I said that to Auntie, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're right." It was like, it's kind of scary when you think about it. And that's why I created the 12 practices. And so I want to encourage people who are not part of our wholehearted networking group to be part of this group here at Patreon, to have these kinds of deeper conversations. And if you think about the 12 practices are all centered around being loving and kind to yourself, but also being aware of where you're not. And when you become aware of where you're not, and then you actually celebrate the mistake that you're making as you're making it, you can actually change it. But that's another place where we get hard on ourselves. We beat ourselves up and go, "Oh, I'm doing it again." And then instead, "Wow, I did it again. Oh, wow, look at me. I caught myself." And when the brain feels safe because you're not going to beat it up, it will actually give you more information. And so we're all about joy here. And sometimes that means becoming aware of the effects of all of our thoughts. Yeah. I don't think I could send hatred. I'm admitting to you, I'm struggling with it too. We'll see how this experiment goes. So I'm gonna start it on December 1st. I'll fill it up with soil, and I'll have it near the window, closer to the window, so it gets light, and then I'll bring it back here for our segments of live streams. I guess a self-reflection question would be, what do you think about this experiment? That's a good self-reflection question, I think, right there. So here it is up close, and there's the seeds of corn in there. Ooh, I'm not going to let it fall. And so thank you for being here with me today, and I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central. Bye for now.